Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to mathematics, and now I'm here with question 7 of paper 42, A-levels mechanics, variant 42, paper code 9709, May-June 2025. So let's begin. A particle P of mass 3 kg is projected with a speed of 8 meter per second. Mass is 3 kg projected with 8 meter per second. Up a line of greatest slope of a rough plane inclined at 30 degrees to the horizontal. P is projected from point A on the plane and comes to instantaneous rest at point B on the plane. P then slides back down the plane. The coefficient of friction between the plane and P and the plane is 1 over 12 root 3. Using energy method throughout, find the speed of P at the instant it returns to A. So first we need to understand it visually. What is this whole is telling us? We have an inclined plane of 30 degrees to the horizontal. And what do we have further? Further, what do we have is we have a ball of mass 3 kg that is projected with a speed 3 meter per second. Okay, when they say projected, why I assume that it is projected upwards? Because when it is going to be projected, it's up a line. They actually have made it clear, up a line of greater slope. So that means it is projected upwards. Okay, and let me, okay, they are somehow equal. So let's write down everything over it. 3 kg is its mass, and it is projected with initial speed 8 meter per second. And this is a rough plane, so obviously there must be some frictional force. Angle is 30 degrees. This is your point A from where it has started, and this must be your point B where it is instantaneously at rest, and then it slides back. Okay, coefficient of friction. So the velocity here is going to be 0 because it's instantaneously at rest. And we have coefficient of friction. So mu is root 3 over root 3 over 12. Now we have to use the energy method. Okay, now see. First we should be resolving this all. If I could get some sharp color to differentiate between it. So we are having weight acting downwards. Then we have a horizontal component, like horizontal component this, and a vertical component. The direction would be this and this. Okay, and so represent also this. This will be 3g. This would be your 30 degree. This would be 3g sine 30. This would be 3g cos 30. Okay, and there must be one more thing to understand, and that is your distance between A and B. Why I'm taking into account? Because they said use the energy method. So first let me write the energy method, then I'll make you understand that. By energy method, what does energy method says? That before potential energy, kinetic energy, and work done by driving force must be equals to after potential energy, kinetic energy, and work done against resistance. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So yeah, what I was trying to say was that we have work done involved. So work done by driving force would be force times displacement. So we are supposed to be understanding the distance covered. So what will be the distance covered between A and B? Let's suppose we call it to be from here to here. Instead of this, let's take this. From here to here, let's name it BXYZ anything. So I'm naming it that this distance is X. If I'm taking this distance to be X, then if I take this distance here, be more better. Okay. So let's take this distance to be X. So we need the vertical component of it. Why do we need it? Because we need potential energy, and that involves height. What is your potential energy? mgh, for which will be needing the height. So let's understand that as well. So this vertically would be x. Obviously the particle must not be starting from here, it must be starting from the starting point, but still I assumed it a little farther from it. So what will be the vertical component? Would be x sine 30, or ideally what do? We consider it to be A and B to be close, and then we resolve it. So it would be x sine 30. This is your 30 degrees, so x sine 30. And if you see horizontal distance, so that is x cos 30 covered. So now we have resolved everything. Now substitute in the values starting from potential energy. So initially the potential energy is going to be 0, because initially it is started from rest, like from the ground level, or even if it is not started from the ground level, maybe it is started at some height here. So this is a height common for both. So we take comparative heights in energy method most of the times, because eventually those heights on both sides are going to be cancelled. So we take relative height. Okay. So we are not going to take it ideally from the ground. So 0 will be your potential energy in the start, and kinetic energy would be half 3 times initial speed is 8, so 8 square. Work done by driving force. Is there something that is moving it forward? Is there any driving force that is compelling it to move forward? No. Okay, it is just projected with the velocity, but there is nothing particular that is dragging it upwards. So driving force is 0 in this case. Next is after. After potential energy is mgh. What is mgh? Mass is 3. G we take to be 10, so let's keep it G. H, what is the height? Height above A would be x sine 30. So let's take x sine 30. Then velocity, final kinetic energy would be half mv square, and that is going to be half, mass is 3, and we know that at point B it is instantaneously at rest, so 0 square. So eventually the kinetic energy after becomes 0. And lastly, we need work done by resistive force. So work done by resistive force is resistive force times the distance covered, and that is in this case x. What is resistance force? Mu r times x. What is r? So that's a good question here. If we take r is upwards, this is your r. So your r comes out to be r equals 3g cos 30. Okay, so eventually your mu r becomes, mu is root 3 over 12, r is 3g cos 30, mu r times x. Yeah, so that's all. Now solve this together to get your x value. So you can do it directly with a calculator or otherwise also. So I'm keeping it half, 3 times 8 square equals 3g x sine 30 plus root 3 over 12 3g cos 30x. Okay, taking x common here, 3g sine 30 will become, okay, you can do it directly with the calculator. So 3g sine 30 plus root 3 over 12 3g cos 30. So divide it with 1 by 2, 3 times 8 square, and we get x to be equals to 5.12. Okay, what we were getting here, 96 divided by 15 plus 15 over 4, and this whole solution is going to give you 5.12. So yeah, that's it. Now the body is moving downward. Okay, in this case, when the body is sliding downward, the frictional force would be in this direction, mu r. Okay, initial velocity would be 0, and final velocity is that we need to find. So now we are going to apply the energy method again for moving particle or body moving downward. Okay, so initially we applied this energy method for moving upward to find out the distance it has covered, and now this body is again moving downward and we need to find the velocity at the end of this journey. So let's take that again. So initial potential energy, obviously the body is at some height, so it would be mgh. So 3g times height would be x sine 30. So initially I'm writing everything in terms of x. Now later on I'll substitute this value. Then kinetic energy initially would be 0 because initial velocity is 0. Thirdly, work done by driving force. What is making it move downward? It is a component of weight. Okay, that is making it move downward. So the component of force we never take to be a driving force. It is never a driving force. So your driving force in this case is also 0. Then it must be equals to the after. And what is your after scenario? Later on, it will be by the end of the journey, when it is at the bottom, your ball is here. Potential energy must be 0 because it is not at some height now. And kinetic energy would be half mv square. And we don't know what is the velocity. Mass is 3, so 3v square. And work done by resistive force would be the same, mu r times the distance covered, that is x. So I'm taking the same, mu is root 3 over 12, r is 3g cos 30, and x. So let's substitute the value of x everywhere. It is 5.12 and 5.12. So it comes out to be 15 times 5.12 minus this whole, that gives you 15 over 4. This whole calculation gives you 15 divided by 4 times 5.12 equals 3 by 2 v square. Now calculate this to get v square would be 2 over 3 times 57.6 times 2 divided by 3, turn out to be 38.4 under the root, because this is your v square, so we get it to be 6.1967. Let me arrange this first a bit. V comes out to be 6.1967. Okay, so this is your whole working to find the velocity at the end of the journey when it returns to point A. This is all about question number 7. We are supposed to apply this energy method twice to get the required result. Yeah, that's all about paper May-June 2025 for mechanics 1842. I hope you understood the whole paper. For your suggestions, queries, please write us in the comment box, or you can write us an email on imathematics@gmail.com. Thank you very much, and Allah Hafiz.